Wednesday night, you know what that means? Closer to Friday than Monday. Hope you're having a good week. COSMO After Dark. Okay, I've gotten over the past couple days a million emails, messages, story links about this new Snapchat handle, which is totally inappropriate for middle school and probably high school students. This is how Snapchat works really quickly, all right? Snapchat is basically like text messaging. You can send a video, you can send a picture, you can send a message, and then it disappears after a couple of seconds, disappears off of my phone, disappears off of the recipient's phone. But there's another section to Snapchat that acts like Instagram stories. Facebook now has stories as well. So they're little snippets of content from different advertisers, different media outlets, different celebrities, different professional teams. So it's featured content. So it's kind of like stories on Instagram, if you're familiar with them, combined with the homepage of Instagram. So it's random content that I can't control, that you can't control, that your kids can't control. So first things first, this is nothing new. The Discover feature on Snapchat is something that I've been talking to parents about forever, because it is this bunch of content that you can't control, you can't filter out. And COSMO After Dark is not really any different than some of the other insanely inappropriate content I've seen on Snapchat Discover. So they can pay to be featured there. I mean, Cosmo's been on there before. A lot of the stuff in Cosmopolitan magazine, not all of it, but a lot of it has content that I wouldn't be pumped if my middle schooler or high schooler was reading. But let's be honest, can't they also see this stuff in the grocery store or like a pharmacy? So I don't really see the big panic. Again, I'm not psyched about it. So their tagline for Cosmo After Dark, which they released on Fridays, a new one every Friday, is something along the lines of like your guide to good sex during the weekend. I flipped through it. When I searched it, that's another thing, you have to actively search it and follow it, or you can actively search it and follow it, I should say, on Snapchat, and I did, and holy moly, I got some education, let's just say that. But again, I would be horrified if my kids were looking or hearing that stuff, or seeing that stuff. Totally inappropriate. So the one thing about it, again, I'll say this, is that you can't control it. You can't filter it out. So if it pops up, and I have not seen it pop up yet, I'm using Snapchat a little less than I used to these days. And also, this Discover functionality, I find in my experience, more adults are using this. There's news stuff on there. I looked at it today to find this, to do a little research. And I found stuff on the volcano in Hawaii and the fissures, and news over in Europe that's happening. So it's not all horrible, terrible stuff by any means. There's something on there like 10 best kitchen gadgets, and then Cosmopolitan had some other gadgets. Oh my word. Anyway, my field research is often quite interesting, as you can imagine. So I don't mean to make a joke of this. A lot of parents are really concerned about it, but this is really nothing new. The content, again, in this Discover functionality of Snapchat is something that you cannot control. So whether it's Cosmo After Dark coming out with something or some other company coming out with something, unfortunately, it's not something you can turn off in Snapchat. But I'll say this again, it's not really a place that I have found in my questioning and experience that kids are really going to. They're really more using it as a place where they can send pictures and videos and messages to their friends, as a communication tool, more than like a news source or something along those lines, which the Discover functionality kind of serves that purpose. More news than you would ever need or imagine. So I think it's a really good opportunity not to abolish Snapchat so that your kids can never use it ever again, but to have a conversation with them that, look, whether you're using YouTube, Google, whatever it may be, inappropriate stuff can come up anytime. And again, I could make this argument for the grocery store, like the stuff that kids are reading in the grocery store when we're checking out, right? So if you ever have any questions, ask me. There's some stuff that's not appropriate for you on there. I hope you're using your best decisions and judgment, and kind of use that as a conversation, as opposed to like, you're never allowed to use this anymore because Cosmopolitan just rolled out this new kind of Discover functionality. which again has kind of been there forever. It's just expanded and kind of narrowed in on this particular subjects. So there you are, there you have it. You can kind of sleep easy tonight. Maybe a really good conversation starter with your kids tomorrow. Just wanted to let you know. Happy Wednesday Eve, soon to be Thursday, which then means Friday. Have a good night.